Alright, so without further ado, a really big round of applause.
How you guys doing? Good? I'm very big on participation. Alright? If you're not participating in life, you're spectating. And if you spectate in life, you're never going to get in the game. So today, I would really like you guys to actually participate. I'm going to teach you some things that probably nobody else really speaks to you about, and I'm going to be more real with you than most people have been. Guys, you have one life. You have one shot. If you want something, you need to go and get it. Because if you don't, rarely is anybody going to come and hand it to you. I was asked to come in here today to speak to you about entrepreneurialism as well as success. A lot of people think an entrepreneur is somebody who owns a business. It's not true. Owning a business is a byproduct of being an entrepreneur. What an entrepreneur is, it's a mindset. It's a way of life. It's how you think about things. You don't just go with the flow. You're not a sheep. You don't believe what people tell you right off the bat. You make your own decisions. You carve your own way through life. As far as I'm concerned, being an entrepreneur is being your own man, your own woman. You don't necessarily have to own a business to have the entrepreneurial mentality. Okay? In life, guys, and I told you, I'm going to be real with you. There's a handful of winners. Okay? Just like anything else. Any sports game you go to, a boxing match, how many heavyweight champions are in the world? How many?
One.
Come on, how many? One? Right. Only one heavyweight champion of the world. How many teams win the Super Bowl? How many? One. Why is that? Why does one team come out on top? They push themselves further. They make decisions to go harder at the gym. They make decisions to practice harder. And they also make the decision to win. It's a handful of winners, and there's a whole lot of losers. The only thing that differentiates a winner from a loser is a loser gives up and stops moving forward. That's it. It's the only difference. And I got a question for you. Many people say that they want to be successful. I have a question. Do you guys want to be successful? You want to be successful? Whoever wants to be successful in this room right now, I want you to raise your hand as high as you can. Who wants to be successful in this room? Can you raise it a little higher for me? A little bit higher. Stretch. Thank you. Can you put your hands down? One of the most important lessons you're going to learn is what I just showed you. The reason most people are not successful in life is because when I asked you just now to raise your hands the highest you can, not a single one of you did. I had to ask you 3 times and then tell you to stretch. People who are not successful are not people who set their goal too high and missed it. They're people who set their goal too low and they hit it. When you set your goals low, you'll obtain them. You want to make $10,000? I can make $10,000 in a month. You want to make $100,000? You got to set your goal for that. I plan on being a millionaire within 5 years. Now, if I'm not a millionaire in 5 years, I guarantee you I will be farther on the way than most people my age, because I set that goal up there. When you shoot for the stars, you land short, you land on the moon, right? That's how you make things happen, guys. I have a very metaphorical way of thinking. I don't want you to take anything that I'm going to talk to you today about for face value. I want you to think about what I'm going to say. It's very deep. And I want you to apply it tangibly to your lives. Very important. I do not hold all the answers, and I do not promise to. But what I do promise you guys is if you listen to me about what I'm going to say today, it will change your lives. That's a promise. I'm going to talk to you about some things very different than what school teaches you. What school talks to you about and what school teaches, and it does have its place. Don't be mad at me, Mr. Mike. School has its place, but what school teaches you is how to fall in line, how to follow rules, how to bubble in answer sheets. It teaches you how to sit down and shut your mouth. The problem with school does not teach success. School teaches you how to make other people rich. That's what school teaches you. And what I mean by that, you go to school for 12 years of your life, you get out of school, you go to college, you spend a ton of money in debt. This is what we're taught, where you go into the trades where you're going to bust your butt. And I'm going to try so hard not to swear, I swear to God. Or you go into the trades and you bust your butt. Well, when you go to college, what ends up happening is that you spend a ton of money, you're going to rack up student loans. You're going to learn things that do not apply to you. You will never use. I do not use algebra, okay? I'm not saying there's not a place for it, but if you want to be a physicist, there's different things you have to learn than if you want to be successful. There's different things. Guys, I am no expert when it comes to the IT field, but I own a business that is an IT solutions company, but I surround myself by people who know it. The business model, or the life model that we've been told about, is basically go to school, go to college, spend a ton of your life there, get out, buried in loans, now go out, buy a nice car, because that's what matters in life. When you buy that nice car, make sure you lease it, because you're not going to have the money for it. And then beyond that time, go try to get a job in an oversaturated job market where there's no place for you. You guys got to understand that that is the model of which 90% of the world operates on. You guys don't want to be that 90% because you're going to have what everybody else has. And I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. If you guys want to go and work at Walmart, and that is truly what you want to do, you are successful. If you want to do it. You want to be a gas station attendant? You're successful if you want to. But most people don't, but most people do it anyway. Why? You have to learn what I call the intangibles. Intangibles are skills and attributes that apply to your life that you can't touch, you can't necessarily feel, you sometimes can't even see. The intangibles are things like discipline. Is that an egg? Is that an Easter egg that's rolling around on the ground?
No, it's my lip balm.
It's all good. Anyways, the point is I'm going to teach you how to not fall into that 90% today, and I'm going to try to do it in a very short period of time. I need your guys' participation. I need you to pay attention, and I hope that this helps you. There's a quote that I really like. This quote is, if it's big, you'll see it. And if it's loud, you'll hear it. But if it's real, you'll feel it. Guys, my hope is today that what I say, you feel. And if it impacts one of you, because not all of you are going to take my advice today, and that's fine. But if it impacts one of you, then it was worth it for me to come down here. And I appreciate my time here. My name is Joshua Kekac. I own Trusted Relations, Computer Clinic, and I appreciate you guys for having me here. Now, one of the biggest problems with success is that very few people know what it is. Brian, what's success?
A lot of money.
Okay. What's your name, dear?
Aiden.
Haley?
Yeah.
What is success? Excellent. Both of you guys are on the right track. Here's the problem. You said success is money. If I hand you $2 million right now, but I make you a paraplegic, are you successful? Are you going to be happy?
Probably not.
Why not?
So I don't have my life.
Right. You have to think a little deeper about what does success mean. As far as I could tell, there's 4 pillars to success. There's health, wealth, love, and happiness. The first 3 buy the 4th. Yours. Happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. When you have your health, and you have your wealth, you feel good about yourself, and then you can make real decisions about who's going to be the person you're involved with, if you want to be involved with anybody. And then that brings your happiness. So far as I could tell, that is what success is, those 4 things. By knowing that, you guys have to sit down, shut off the TV, okay? Shut off your phones. Sit down and figure it out. What do you want? Because if you don't figure out what you want, you're never going to get there. I know people who are over 10 years older than me, and they are so lost in life, they have no idea what they want. And they're never going to achieve it, because they have no goal. If you have no goal, you have no desire, what are you doing? You're existing. You're living, but you're not alive. Are you alive or just breathing? I don't want to focus on money very much today, because money is a very small sliver of to what real success is and what being an entrepreneur is really all about. Entrepreneur is really just thinking for yourself. You look at something, you say, I don't like that. I like that, but I could do it better. It's really just being your own man, your own woman. You're just a droplet in a river going throughout a forest. The thing is, a river is not that big, and you're just one droplet. But there's an ocean somewhere. And if you could brave what it's going to take to get out of that river and go across the sand, go through the woods, go through whatever hardships and challenges are going to lay before you, and you get to that ocean, what you're going to do is you're going to be free. Guys, I got a question. Has any of you guys ever been on a really nice vacation? Bahamas, Bermuda, Bora Bora? Any of you guys? Would you guys like to go tonight? Yeah? Yeah? Imagine having that option every day. You want to go to Bermuda? Go. Guys, that life is obtainable. It is not easy. Success is not easy. If it were easy, everybody would have it. Success is extremely difficult. It is extremely hard. Life is extremely hard, guys. It's not simple, and it's not what you see on TV. I guarantee you that is not true. And since I don't want to talk about money too much, I'm going to talk about money first. All right? Now, one of the most important things you can ever do in life is take initiative. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes? Cool. Do you guys want to make some money?
Yes.
Yeah? Would you guys like an opportunity to make money right now?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, I have an opportunity for you guys to make money right now. I have $50 in my hand. First person to yell out their name gets this.
Brian.
Brian, come on up. Sorry, man, gotta embarrass you. But I want to shake your hand, because you are well on your way to becoming successful. Here's why. Out of this room, I don't know how many people are here, we'll just say 20. Out of this room, not one person even challenged you. You're the first person to say your name. One of the most important things that happens in life, you want to be heard, right?
Yes.
You want to make sure that you stand out. If you have a good product, you have a good service, you got to be heard. And this man was heard, and you made $50. Don't sit down yet. You're welcome. Don't sit down yet. Taking my money. The thing is that, yeah, it's funny standing up here, huh? You didn't think you'd make any money today. You know how much that would be per hour?
How much?
You made that in what? 2 seconds? How long does it take to say Brian? 1 second? Split second?
Yeah.
You're better than a doctor. Do you have a diploma? No? Good for him. No diploma. Guys, I don't have a degree. Okay? I know business, I don't have a degree. So, something else I want to teach you guys is that his handshake tells me that he's a man. He shook my hand when he came up here hard, firmly, and he looked me in the eye. There are people out there that when you meet them and you shake their hand, if you have a limp handshake, they will not take you seriously. You've lost your chance to do business with them. It's like that. It is that fast. It's not a joke. Another side to being successful is being an investor. I'm going to get into investing farther on, because money is not the only thing you invest. But since we're on the money topic, I'm going to give you a chance to invest.
Yeah,
Okay? You know about ROI?
I don't.
ROI is return on investment. So if you invest something, you want to get something better in return, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole idea behind it. Okay. I might have something in my hand. All right?
Yeah.
It might be of equal, more, or less value than what you have in your hand. But you're never going to find out what's in my hand unless you invest to open my hand and find out what you're going to get back. Would you like to invest $50 to find out?
I'm not gonna get the 50 back if there's nothing in there.
That's how investment works. It's your decision. It's your life. Make what you would like.
Do it.
You
I'll
don't
take
take
the risk.
You take the risk.
Take the risk.
There you go. You just doubled your money. How much money has he made in this short period of time by taking risks and being heard? Guys, the opportunity. Exactly. If I can make money like that all the time, when I do, guys, his opportunity is not alone. You guys have the same shot he had. Beat him up after class and take that money. No, I'm just kidding. Brian, before you sit down, I want to teach you one or two more things. When you start to become successful, all right, what you just did was make really good business decisions, and you took a risk, and it paid off for you. When you start to become successful, people are going to come out with their hand out. Friends of yours, family members. They're going to come out because you're successful and you owe me. Because you made it and I didn't. But you made it because you opened your mouth. You made it because you made it happen. We all have these opportunities around us at all times, guys. You just have to seize the moment and go after it. There are some people, maybe even in this room, I don't know how lunch works here, but there are some people who might ask you to buy them lunch because you didn't work for money.
Lunch is third wave today.
Oh, yeah.
My apologies.
They might ask you to pay for their lunch because you didn't earn it, right? Dude, come on, that was easy. Did you just grab me lunch? That's BS because you did earn it. You just did it in a smarter way than the person banging his head against the wall for 35 years trying to make it. I was out at a restaurant once, and I was with a buddy of mine, and he had a few drinks and stuff. And he, he's a little cocky. It's just who he is. I love him. He's still a best friend of mine, very dear to my heart. When the bill came, he took the bill, he handed it to me. This was last year, guys. Now, I'm not super successful. I'm on my way to being there, but I'm not there yet. He handed the bill to me, and what he said was, hey man, could you just get this for me? I actually work for my money. It's a good friend of mine. It's like a best friend. Your mouth dropped open. That's right. It's like a best friend of mine. Told me he actually works for his money. I got a secret for you. My business came from a place, I first built it at my parents'. This is a ton story of how I got to where I am. It's about a 10-year project of getting to where I am. But there was a time when I was in a garage freezing. When I say freezing, I couldn't feel nothing. Nothing at all. And I needed my fingers to work on things, so I couldn't even wear gloves. Didn't have money for the heat. Didn't have food in the upstairs refrigerator. Because you have to make sacrifices if you want to get ahead in life. And I was standing down there in my garage, working on an Xbox 360, and I had a heat gun turned on in front of me. It was a true story. I burned my mouth on the heat gun. It goes at 1,000-something degrees. And I stood in front of that thing for 3 or 4 hours working on Xbox after Xbox. And I burned all around my lips. It looked like clown makeup. Swear to God. I don't work for my money? No, see, I invested in what was going to give me a good return later on in life. I worked for my money. He ended up paying that night because I made it very clear how far of a boundary he had overstepped. So if people go to do that to you, you make your decision on what you want to do. The last lesson I want you to know before you sit down, when you start to make it, you're going to develop what are known as haters. It's very important that you don't listen to haters. Hear what they say, and if it could be utilized constructive criticism-wise, take it in. But what ends up happening with a hater, they're going to tell you you had good genetics, They're going to tell you we're born into money. They're going to say that he got good breaks. Oh, he got all the da-da-da-da-da. Guys, you got good breaks all around you. I guarantee when you go to the mall, you're passing somebody who could mentor you. You're passing somebody who could out-talk me. That's an accomplishment. I talk a lot. You're going to pass somebody in the mall who, if you just knew or just struck up a conversation and started being more social, you're going to find out they know about the craft of which you want to be good at. The opportunities are all around you guys. Good job. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Guys, I was talking about investments. And one of the final things that I'm going to say about money in this time is that when you invest in something, you want to do your research. Okay? Doing your research is extremely important to investing, because if not, you're going to make some dumb-ass decisions. And you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities in your life. Okay? See, what happens is that in your life, you want this to be as thick as possible, right? You want to have as much money as possible, because money allows you freedom and all that. Investments are extremely important, but if you're not investing in good things, guys, you're going to burn through your money. If you burn through your money, it goes really quick. That's right, I invested in a firewall. Hopefully your sprinklers don't go off. One of the most important things to understand about investing is RRD, not just ROI. ROI, return on investment. RRD, rot, rust, and depreciation. Most people invest in things that rot, rust, and depreciate. Designer clothes. Guys, they're not made for you. Designer clothes are not made for the general public. Beamers, Lexus, Mercedes, these nice luxury vehicles, they're not made for you. Not yet. It's a trap. By you guys going out and getting those vehicles, by you guys going out and dressing to the nines, looking gorgeous, looking amazing, looking like a badass. I'm sorry. I'll try not to swear, I swear to God. Looking like a bad butt just doesn't sound as good, but anyways. You guys are losing something called your taw. Taw is, in the game of marbles and such, when you throw your taw, it's your last, it's basically, it's what you use to hit the other marbles. Well, if you don't have a taw, guys, how are you going to make it in life? You're spending money on stupid stuff that I guarantee you nobody cares about down the line. Nobody, not even you. It's not going to mean anything to you. So the thing is, what rots, rusts, and depreciates that's the most important thing to you? Your body. You guys want to be successful in life, you got to take care of your body. You know how sharp my mind is? You know how focused I get throughout the day? I don't drink. I haven't drank in my entire life. I never really got into the partying scene. I always kind of had the thought of an investor mentality. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I try to stay on some form of sleep schedule, but you'll learn if you go into business for yourself, you get extremely stressed, and that doesn't always take place. I exercise, go to the gym, I meditate, and I invest in my mind. When I'm driving in the car, oftentimes, instead of playing heavy metal music, which I love, instead of playing that all the time, I'll put on some motivational speaker, somebody who knows something about a craft of which I'm trying to perfect, and I'll listen to him in the car. Because that grows me, that invests in my mind. I want you guys to open your mind today as I teach you these things, because it's real stuff, guys. If you're investing in Family Guy, I like Family Guy. You guys like Family Guy?
Yes.
Yeah. It's funnier than Beep. I didn't say anything. Family Guy's hilarious. But if you watch a few episodes of Family Guy, and I'm not saying never enjoy yourself in life, absolutely not. But if you watch a few episodes of Family Guy, let's say you watch 4 hours of Family Guy, that's not actually unheard of. People just turn it on and they zone out. What are you learning? The only time that's going to make you successful is if you want to go into the industry and you want to go into cartoonists or something like that, or you want to make your own sitcom, something similar to that, and you're doing that as a study. If you are just watching stuff like that, guys, you're not getting ahead in life. In fact, you're getting behind. Oh, you're kicked out of school now.
Don't you take those away?
Yeah, we gotta confiscate the phones, and we work on those, so we sell them out of the shop too. I appreciate it. The thing is, guys, is that I'm not saying don't have fun in life. I'm saying pick and choose what you're gonna do. I go out to bars, and I get water and a lemon for extra awesomeness. That's what I drink at a bar. Yeah, pretty awesome, huh? The thing is that people drink in life for many, many different reasons, but a lot of people drink because they have no social skills. They can't interact with people. They can't talk. They can't even make eye contact with you. A guy's at a bar, he doesn't have any confidence because he has nothing to offer, and so he drinks a ton of alcohol, which is wrecking his body, which is the truth. And then he's able to go and talk to so-and-so, who he doesn't even remember her name, and whatever happens after that happens. But then he becomes reliant on the alcohol through life, and it becomes a crutch, right? And instead of getting ahead in life, he's putting himself backwards because alcohol is expensive. I don't know if you guys, drink because none of you are supposed to, but one of you might have tried it. It's expensive, guys. And there's really no reason behind it. So before I get started, I wanted to talk to you real quick about one of the most influential people in my life who's not even real. Rocky. You guys ever hear of the Rocky movies, boxing movies? They're awesome, right? Yeah? The thing is that Rocky, as far as I'm concerned, is a real man. He loves his woman right, loves his family. He's disciplined, dedicated, passionate. He goes for what he wants. He fights against insurmountable odds, and he overcomes them. In the 6th movie, and I wrote this quote down, I want to get it right. In the 6th movie, he's talking to his son. He's standing in the streets. And what ends up happening is that the son is feeling like he's in the shadow of the father. And he feels like his life sucks because his father's life was so great. Well, that's an excuse, guys. There's 2 kinds of people in life. You make excuses or you create solutions. And Rocky Balboa, turns around and he says to his son, I'm going to tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you've got to be willing to take the hits. And not pointing fingers saying, it's because of you, and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or nobody. That's what cowards do, and that ain't you. You're better than that. Guys, the truth about life is difficult enough without you destroying yourselves in the process. Okay? You're a car accident away from having real problems in your life. There's a heart attack away from you losing somebody that you truly care about. How are you going to handle that? If you haven't matured in your life, if you haven't gotten yourselves to the point of where you're going to be able to handle something major that happens in your life, and some of you may have experienced something very, very difficult already. But later in life, guys, how are you going to handle what comes your way if you're also struggling with stupid stuff like diabetes? Now, don't get me wrong, some people get things for many very different reasons. But if you got it because you said, my grandfather had cancer, my father had cancer, I'm going to have cancer, so I'm just going to go out and smoke. That's like saying, you know what, one day I don't think I'm going to be able to pay my rent, so I'm going to go out and just throw money on the street. You're causing the problem to become more prolific. People oftentimes think they're predisposed to things. You may be predisposed if you don't take care of yourself, but our bodies are not designed to decay the way that they do in our society. Our society is designed to get you to buy stuff that is not good for you. I got a question for you. Who is weird? The guy walking down the street eating a Snickers bar that is truly not good for him? Artificial chemicals, artificial flavoring, it's messing with his brain chemistry, there's no redeemable fact that you're going to get me to believe that a Snickers bar is good for you? Is he weird, or is the guy walking down the street eating a cucumber weird? Which one? Cucumber. Why is he weird? What's your name? Vinny? Thank you. Why is he weird? It's not the norm. Guys, a good rule of life, if a lot of people are doing it, it's a dumb idea. Okay? Real good rule in life. There are a few exceptions, but when it comes down to it, if you look at the masses and you do what the masses do, you're going to get what the masses have. The masses are overweight, they are depressed, they are in poverty, they're reliant on the state, welfare, and all these other things that, if you really sit down and think about, what the heck are you doing on that stuff? You guys need to empower yourselves. Guys, out of 100 people, 90% of them, by the time they're 65, are still going to be working. And they're going to be working jobs they hate, odds are. Now that remaining 10%, 5% of them are still going to be working because they want to. Because they want something to do. 4% are going to be independently wealthy, whether they own their own businesses or whatever else happened in their lives, and they can choose whether or not to go to work. Most of them choose not to. 1%. 1% are the millionaires and the billionaires that you guys hear about that many people think is unobtainable. It is not unobtainable for you to get to those levels if you open your mind and your intellect and you realize what you're investing in and then invest in your potential. Vinny, you are better than everybody in the entire world at something. Same with you, Brian. You're welcome. Same with you, Brian. But you guys have to find it. You guys have to diversify yourselves. You have to delve into the things in the world that are difficult to find out what you're really good at. Do your research when you invest, and take it from me. I lost $38,000. I didn't even swear, and people.
I know, they got you.
I lost $38,000 in the stock market when I was 22 years old. That was all the money I had made in my life. I had worked 4 jobs to get that, back to back to back. I was a truck driver in the mornings from 7 to 12, from 12 to 5 or something. I was a waiter. Sometimes it went beyond that. I worked at People's Bank on the weekends. And I also did, I had an eBay store, and I dabbled in Google AdSense and stuff. And I made $10,000 in, I don't know, 5 months or something. And that doesn't sound like amazing by today's standards and stuff. But when I was 22, back in the day of dinosaurs, when I was 22, that was a ton of money. And then I realized I just wasted 6 months of my life working like a dog for so little money that I can't even survive a full year on. What am I doing? And I started to try to think smarter. So I got involved with the stock market, did no research, and lost 38 grand. That was my idea of being smarter. Because I made the 38, and then I lost all of it in the pink sheets, Wolf on Wall Street type stuff. Please do your research if you're ever going to play in the pink sheets. If there's any research that's even possible to be done, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, one of the most important things in life that I want you to change is your view of certain things, like the lottery effect. This is probably the most dangerous thing that you guys have had drilled into your heads with mass media and what you guys talk about probably with your friends. It's called the lottery effect. The reason the lottery effect is so dangerous, guys, when you play the lottery, it's that percentage thing again. 1%. One person's going to win that Powerball. One person's going to win that whatever. You know how many people pay into that? For that one person to get rich? It's crazy. People go through life wanting the lottery effect to take place. They want to meet that person and fall in love without having ever developed themselves or having anything to offer. They want to make a ton of money by it just falling on their lap. They want to land that perfect job because someone walks up to them, sees potential in them, and takes them along with them, like what happened with Justin Bieber, and makes him into making $68 million a year. How many teenagers are out there, and how many Justin Biebers are there? Regardless of whether or not I prescribe to thinking he's a model human being, how many Biebers are out there? One. How many teenagers? Insurmountable amounts. Guys, when I was younger, I had good luck in the lottery. And I happened to, it always seems like I had good luck and stuff, and then I tried it, and then it blows up. But I used to win every Christmas. I used to win every Easter or something like that. So I was like, I'm going to win anyway. I was like 13, 14 years old. So I took $200, and I went and bought a ton of lottery tickets. And I made $52. Great. Well, that's backwards. The lottery effect, guys, can happen. Don't get me wrong. It could absolutely happen to you. But if you bank on the lottery effect, you're going to be like 90% of the people out there who banked on it, and now they're on the state. Life will weed out the weak. Make no mistake about that. But in society, it will keep you alive. Society will sustain you with the programs. There's enough programs to put you up for free, to put you in a place and make you live, for free, give you food. There's enough programs for that. But you're not going to flourish. You're just going to exist. You're just going to go through the wave of life, and you're just going to exist. Don't do the lottery effect, guys. Invest in yourself and create your own wealth, your own value. The fastest way between any point A and point B is what? What's the fastest way to get from point A to point B?
Straight line.
Straight line, thank you. Instead of doing a straight line though, here's what people do in life. They go, okay, well, here's point A, I know where I am, I know where I need to go, and maybe I end up somewhere nearby that by the time I'm way past my prime. Because you get involved with a ton of other things that are not fruitful. You get involved with silliness, endeavors, parties, drugs, whatever it is. I have friends of mine who are recovering from being addicted to crack that I went to school with. Kid disappears for 5-6 years. I thought he's doing good. He's off in Los Angeles. No, he's addicted to crack. He's on the side of the road sitting against a building, and he eventually got picked up by cops. After 5 years. 5 years down the drain, completely. His health is destroyed. His face is bloated. His physique is all screwy. I guarantee you he's got more damage on his internal intestines than I will have in my entire life, or his internal organs than I will have in my life. Because he went off all screwy on the course. And you know what? He's got 2 kids. What are you going to do with that? You're already, he's 27. He's a little younger than me. He's 27 years old. He's got the body of a 50-year-old something. He's got 2 children. He can't sustain for them at all. Doesn't know what to do. He works at a gas station. How are you going to turn that around? Guys, I'm a big believer that you could turn anything around in your life if you put enough dedication and enough passion towards it. But also, don't make the mistake of thinking that if you roll downhill snowballing for your entire life, that you're just going to become some success story. It rarely works like that. And by rarely, I mean 1 in maybe 10 million works like that. What I want to tell you guys is the truth. You guys have the same shot Michael Jordan had. You guys know who Michael Jordan is, right? Okay, just want to make sure, because he was from my time, And he might have a better shot than he had, because he was all lanky and he was all tripping over himself when he would try to play basketball, and his coach told him, you're no good at basketball, go do something else. Nowadays, if you want to learn basketball, you should probably go talk to Michael Jordan. Because he put in the hours, he put in the time. He woke up early in the morning and he went to go and play. He studied basketball. He talked to some of the greats that he could find. But you know what's great about Michael Jordan? He practices humility. Humility is one of the most important things that you can practice in life. No matter how big you are, no matter how bad... Sorry, I did good. I stopped.
Awesome.
No matter how awesome you think you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter what, it could all go away tomorrow. All of it. So there's no reason not to listen to other people. Okay? I may talk as if I know 100% of what I'm speaking about, because for what I speak about, I do. However, if you guys have a different opinion on something, I would sit down with you, I would shut my mouth, and I would listen to what you got to say. One of the guys that works for me, he's a kid. He's a kid, he works for me. My youngest guy I've ever had on the team, he's not even 20 years old. I learn things from him. He teaches me. That kid's been through more hardships than, well, he's been through very difficult times. And he is very, very mature. And he makes dumb decisions and stuff. He's still a kid. But the point is that if you don't have humility, you're going to go through life and you are going to, I have till 12, right? Right. You're going to go through life and you're going to X out people that you could have really learned something from. When you can learn something from every single person that you come across. But you can't judge them by normal means. People judge people constantly, and judgments are very important. Some people are going to tell you that you shouldn't judge, no judgment-free zone. No, not true. You need to judge. You need to judge because you need to choose who you keep beside you. Because it is very true that you are who you hang out with. And what I mean by that, if you want to learn about money, don't go and talk to people who have no money, who have no drive, who have no whatever. And I guarantee you guys know friends of yours who don't. But if you sit there and you talk to your friend about it, you guys, let's say that you talk about it for years straight, you're going to rise like this. Because both of you are on the same knowledge level. You want to learn about money? Go talk to somebody who makes money. Go talk to somebody who knows how to do things. You want to learn how to stunt on motorcycles? Brian, do you know how to stunt on motorcycles? Okay, don't talk to Brian. Nobody talk to Brian. If you want to learn to stunt on motorcycles, he doesn't know how to do it. If you want to learn to stunt on motorcycles, you start with me. I stunt on motorcycles. But I'm not great. Go talk to one of the pros. Go talk to somebody who gets sponsored by Alpine. I'm sorry, Alpine, that's skateboarding. Go talk to somebody who gets sponsored by Icon. That's when you're going to learn about stunting. They're going to teach you the things that took them 20 years to learn. One of the most important lessons I can ever tell you guys, you need mentors. Go out, find people, seek people who are 5, 10, 15, 20 years ahead of where you want to be, but they're where you want to be. And ask them questions. Learn from them. Because they're going to tell you how to get there without going to school for a ton of time. Guys, some of the most successful people in the world, I'm talking the billionaires, I'm talking the people who have 10, 15, more, whatever, $1 billion, they don't have high school educations. They don't even have a high school diploma. I'm not saying, again, that school doesn't have its place, but it depends on what you want to do in your life. If you truly want to carve your own way in life, then think for yourself. Make critical decisions. Take risks. That kid made $100 for taking a quick little risk. Made a little whiff. So I'm going to get into it now, guys, okay? I'm going to start now. So I hope you're all paying attention. Guys, one of the most important things you can ever learn is that the human mind is a computer and it can be programmed as such. When you have a computer, you have Windows operating systems, right? Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. You got all these operating systems. They all do different things, right? Your human mind is like a computer, and your human mind can do a ton of things, guys. But it's a sponge. Now, if you guys are not writing your own software, someone else is. And if someone else is writing your software, then you're doing what that person wants you to do. You're not doing what you want to do. One of the biggest questions I ask some of my friends, what do they want out of life? And oftentimes people say, I just want to be happy. But you got to find out why. And what is it, not why, you got to find out what it's going to take to make you happy. And so then I asked that question, one of my buddies, I'm not going to say his name, we'll call him John. I asked John, I said, John, what's going to make you happy? Because we were in a deep talk that night. He goes, I don't know, get married, have kids, make money. Okay, those are all fine. All fine. I asked him, why do you want to get married? He couldn't give me an answer. He had no idea why he wanted to get married. You know what his answer ended up being after about a minute? Well, that's what people do. No. That's how people fall into a trap. Now, I'm not getting into the situation of marriage, yes, no, or whatever, anything, because that's big bomb. But the point is, if you can't tell me why you want to get married, what real reasons you have, then you shouldn't be getting married. And if you can't tell me real reasons why you want to have kids, you should be having kids. You know how many kids go home to a broken home because the parents, that's what you do? You get married and you have kids, so now you go home to a broken home. You don't even know your father. Because they didn't make decisions for themselves. And don't get me wrong, again, there are specific times when that kind of stuff doesn't come into play and other circumstances happen. But the vast majority and the vast truth about life, people don't think for themselves. You guys go on the media. You guys go on what Brad Pitt is wearing or how he's acting or what Kim Kardashian is doing or the line of clothing from Coco Chanel. Does any of that matter? If you're not thinking for yourself, all you're doing is you're handing your money to them. You're making them rich. Write your own software, guys. You are the sum of 1,000 lives. We live in the age of information right now. You guys can go and Google anything you want to know. Crazy stuff. You want to know how to make plastic for some weird reason? You can find out how to make plastic right now. The problem is that you don't take advantage of that. Instead, you go on YouTube and you watch funny stuff, stupid stuff, stuff that rots the brain and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I do that too. One of my favorite things, you guys should look it up, it's pretty cool. Fail compilations. Hilarious stuff. You guys ever seen any of that? Fail compilations? Funny, right? Yeah, it's awesome. But if I watch that day in, day out, and I never delve into bettering myself, I'm not going to better myself, and no one's going to do it for me. In the old times, when you wanted to learn something, you would go out and try to talk to your townsfolk. You would try to talk to your village and try to learn something. And if nobody in your village knew it, this is before cars, before planes, before phones, before all that kind of stuff. If nobody in your village knew it, guess what? You didn't learn it. Unless you went out and learned it yourself. That's the only time you would learn it. You guys have nothing but opportunity and no one but yourselves to blame if you don't take advantage of that. One of the most important things is you got to learn perspective in life. The reason perspective is so important is because everybody thinks their lives are hard. Your lives are only hard because it's the only life you've ever experienced. Want to know what's hard? Putting a man on the moon. It took about, give or take, 10,000 years of human technology being advanced throughout all the evolutions that have taken place with humanity. Tons of doctorate degrees. I don't even know the exact figure. It's in the trillions, I'm sure. Trillions of dollars. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people calculating physics on a planet that they can't even get to. Atmospheric pressure, all that kinds of stuff. They had to go and calculate that stuff to put somebody up there so they didn't go up there and the whole thing blows up. And the people die. And they did it. That's hard. Your lives aren't hard. I want to tell you about a guy. His name is Louis Zamperini, I believe is his name, right? Louis Zamperini. He was in the Air Force, World War II. This guy has a ton of a backstory. I'm not going to get into it because I'm actually running short on time. But the thing with him, he was flying a plane. He got shot down. Ended up in the ocean. I don't remember which ocean. Maybe we'll just call it Pacific. He ends up in the ocean, and he ends up on a raft, right? On that raft, he is followed by sharks in the water who go around the wreckage. He's stranded in the raft. I don't even remember if he even had any food to start, but he survived somehow. At one point, I'm pretty sure, at one point a plane, an enemy fighter jet, or fighter plane, came across and found him in the water and started firing upon him. Bullets raining down on him with sharks in the water, and he's in a raft. And he remembered something because he had prepared himself for life. He remembered that bullets don't go more than 5 feet under the water before they lose their power because the press back from the water. So he jumped out of the raft while being shot at, went underwater with an oar, and fought off sharks in the ocean and survived. Later on, he got picked up by the enemy, put into a camp and tortured. I don't remember how long, but he ended up tortured. He died in 2014 a free man and told his story to the world. That's a hard life. What are you guys dealing with in perspective when you look at a story like that? Which would you rather be doing? One of the most important things that you can ever know if you want to start your own business or you want to get any idea off the ground, united you will rise, period. If you can unite others behind a common goal, get them to get into your way of thinking, you'll rise. If you are divided, you will fall. There's no person who can make themselves successful in this world by themselves. They need help from someone. They need help from a manufacturing plant. They need employees to help them out. They need people to maybe believe in them if they can't push themselves enough, because you're going to fall on your face. Guarantee it. If you try to do your own stuff, you're going to fall on your face, but then you're going to get up, and if you have the determination to do so, you're going to move forward, and you're going to make things happen. You need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are better than you. A great quote by Sir Isaac Newton, "If I appear tall, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants." Guys, I stand on the shoulders of giants. My guys blow me away in the technological field. I have better managers than I could ever be in management for. I have better IT professionals, I have better networkers, I have better website designers. My website designer is a pretty highly sought after guy in the industry, and he works for me. He's a giant. He's amazing at what he does. But that allows me to push my product because I'm backed by lions. You have to surround yourself by lions, not sheep. People who are driven and passionate, like you need to be. One of the most important things as well is social skills. If you do not develop social skills, I don't know of many people, there are some specifics, but I don't know of many people who are successful. Social skills pave the way to anything. I don't even know the percentage of how often people are interacting, but everything's social skills. If people don't like you, unless you have some crazy amazing product, or you're in a place where you're the only one who has water for 100 miles, nobody's coming to you to do business if they don't like you. Nobody's coming to you unless you could talk a conversation, build rapport, get people on board with the same like-minded ideas that you got, and show them that you're going to help them in some way or another. I provide a service. Our company is an IT solutions company. We do computer repairs, video game systems, phones. We teach classes, build websites. I have an on-site drive-out team. We're in over 70 companies across Connecticut. We do managed services as well as data backup and cloud management. I can belt that out, what I just said, at any time. I do not stutter. I speak confidently. And if you guys know anything about me from listening to me this time, I can deliver on what I said. And if I can get that across to a customer, they're my customer. And they're not going to go anywhere else because my company is better than the others. Because I've sold my company better than the others have sold it. There are companies bigger than mine. There are companies with guys better than mine. But not to me. And I will portray that to anybody who comes across and speaks to me about my company. Mine is better because of this, this. Just a real quick thing, if you guys are going to go into business for yourselves, always have business cards on yourself and be able to tie every interaction back to your business with a stranger. Here's why that's important. If I'm standing in line in Dunkin' Donuts, you need to learn things like social dynamics. If somebody comes in, they come in and they stand here, and I don't say anything to them, and then I go, oh, you know what, this is a good opportunity. Hey, how are you? That's weird. Social dynamically, that's weird. But you know what's not weird? I'm standing in Dunkin' Donuts line and somebody walks up. And I turn to them casually, as if I didn't plan this. I plan this everywhere I go. I talk to everybody I see. Somebody walks up, and I go, hey, how you doing? As if I'm not planning on talking to them about something tangible. They're like, oh, I'm good, how are you? And I talk offhanded, as if, again, I'm not planning this. I'm like, if I'm standing in Dunkin' Donuts, I'm like, and you know, I run the business up the road next to McDonald's, the computer shop, and we have so much work right now. We need coffee badly, and I'm just grabbing it for my guys, you know, and I got to get back over there. If I say that to him, if he has any computer problem or he has any computer question, he's going to ask me. I now know if he needs anything for IT. But I didn't say to him, hi, would you like to give me money? Because that doesn't work. You got to indirectly approach. You got to learn social dynamics. Take another scenario. If I'm at a gas station and it's a full service place, I try to go to full service places specifically so I can talk to somebody. I pay an extra 10, 20 cents per gallon, but you know what? I get a chance to make $100 or more dollars off an interaction. Somebody comes over to start pumping gas. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I run the business, same thing. I've been on the road all day, and we just closed a massive client, and I just filled up with gas 2 days ago. I've been doing so much driving. Now he starts to talk to me about the business. Normally someone will start to talk to me. Now let's pretend they don't even ask me a question about the business. They're not interested, don't care, fine. Interaction ends, and I go, when I'm leaving, I'm like, hey, it was nice to meet you. I shake their hand real quick. I turn away as if I'm going to leave. I go, hey, by the way, just in case, if you ever need anything, here's my card. That's how I build my business, and it's free. And if there's no way at the gas station, no way to put your credit card, I put my business card in the credit card because the next person who pulls up has to pull that out. You got to think outside the box, guys. That's how you get to be successful. This is probably one of the most important things that I will go over, and it's eradicating self-doubt. And the reason you have to eradicate self-doubt is because in the dark recesses of your mind, there are limiting beliefs that will keep you back in life. If you have a Ferrari, it can go 200 plus miles an hour, but if you have a governor on it, you won't go beyond 55. Someone like cars over there? Yeah? Good stuff, man. Hold on. I'm going to get it back. Limiting beliefs. Right. So, in terms of limiting beliefs, there are things that I personally have struggled with that I had to eradicate. All right? I deal with an inferiority complex. I deal with being very self-conscious. I doubt you guys would know that at this point because I hide it pretty darn well because I've had a lot of practice. But when I grew up, I was bullied mercilessly. I was an extremely small kid. I was picked on, beat up, all that kinds of stuff, right? And that stuff lasts, and that stuff stays with you through your lives. So think about that. Next time you're doing whatever. If you're ever picking on somebody, don't do it. Because it says a lot about the person picking on somebody. It said that they need to make somebody feel small and make themselves feel bigger. But you need to eradicate your self-doubt and wherever it is, because if I let that fear consume me, guys, there's no difference in people. There are people who say that they don't fear anything. That's not true. Everybody fears something. There's just people who step beyond that and they still go for things. Guys, public speaking makes me very uncomfortable. What am I doing right now? But if I let that fear consume me, I don't get to make an impact in one of you guys' lives, or all of you, which is optimal. If you let fear hold you back, you're going to go nowhere. You need to eradicate it. You know, I really wish I had more time because there's a ton of stuff to go over. So I'm just going to try to go over some of the more point things with you guys because I got stories like you wouldn't believe. A real quick one. There's a buddy of mine. We'll call him John as well. John is a massive, massive bodybuilder. Huge. His traps go up to his ears. Guy is frighteningly large. He thinks he's tinier than me. He is 244 pounds. I'm 183. I was at the gym working out, and I work out really hard because I like to have results. I don't do anything unless I believe in it. And I'm working out really hard. This guy walks by with the kind of like a tight shirt. And I look at his back. He's got these, where the shoulders are, they're just these huge back muscles. I'm like, but then I realized I knew him. Kid used to be like my little brother in high school growing up. Kid used to be picked on. Kid used to have a lot of trouble. And you know what happened? He became an introvert. Kid is one of the smartest people I know. But he can't even tell his size. Guys, he's got a 20-something inch arm. I think my arm is like 17, something like that. He can't figure out how big he is. He thinks he's tiny. And he carries that through his life. He will never be big enough. Your problems are up here. He has body dysmorphia to such a level, and he doesn't do steroids, by the way, but he's not too far off from needing them because he's never going to be big enough. And when he's on steroids, he's going to think that's going to bring him what he needs, but it's not, because it's in the physical world. You guys got to operate in the mental world. You guys got to strengthen yourselves up here. Because no matter how strong your arm is, you're never going to lift the weight of depression. You're never going to lift the weight of fear if you haven't exercised your mind. Guys, if I take my phone and I start doing curls with my phone, I can do 1,000 of these. I'm not going to grow any muscle. It's not going to do anything because it's not enough weight. So when you guys are doing weight at the gym, you need to do heavier and heavier weight to build muscle bigger and bigger. Same thing with your brain. You have to challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, what's going to end up happening is you're going to continue to get what you've always had because you're not challenging yourself to overcome new obstacles and make yourselves better. You cannot judge by normal means. What I mean by that, if you're to learn from somebody, you can learn from anybody. You guys could learn from Hitler. Okay? Hitler was one of the most evil, horrible people as far as I'm concerned in all of history. However, take away what he did, look at the fundamentals. Hitler got a ton of people behind a single idea. He carried out a purpose. He had a goal, he had a vision, and he almost achieved it. As crazy as that goal was, he was a phenomenal public speaker. You ever watch him speak? I can't understand what he's saying, it's German, but you watch and you're like, I would listen to that guy. Oh my God. The point is that you got to consider the source sometimes, but if a person knows what they're talking about, it's really crappy that they cheated on their wife, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn from them. Okay? That is an important one. Guys, probably the second most important thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is adaptability. In the Marines, they're very big. Adapt and overcome. If you guys can't adapt to new situations that come your way, you're going to fall on your face. You're not going to get out of it. If I were to stay non-adaptable the way that I started my business working on Xbox 360s, well, guess what? Xbox 360s are gone. Xbox Ones are in. Those are getting worked on. If I never learned how to work on them, that's it. My business is over. That's on a small scale. So if you take a business idea that is break fix, computer clinic, break fix. We're going to be changing the name from computer clinic to Trusted Relations IT Solutions because we're not a computer clinic anymore. We're an IT solutions company. But if I didn't adapt with that, as much as I love the name computer clinic, I'm going to turn away customers because they're going to think, well, he can't help me with my server. He can't do a website. He can't do this. He can't do that. Yes, I can. I got to get that across. If you are not adaptable, you will be weeded out. That's it, bar none. You might need to go and take a class. You might need to go and learn something new to further yourself in your life. You got to be adaptable to it. I told you guys I was going to be real with you, right? Right? Someone should have told you guys a long time ago, time is the only currency you guys have. Money is not a real currency. Seashells are not a real currency. People used to fight over seashells because that's what people used to trade and stuff way back in the day. Arrowheads, stuff like that. It comes and goes. Time is your currency. Someone needed to tell you a long time ago, you're dying. You're all dying. You all have a specific amount of time left here. 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 decades, doesn't matter. You all got a specific time. Now take that time and if we took that and gave you money for it, currency, give you $50,000. That's how many life units you have left in your life. $50,000. How are you going to spend it? Are you still going to go out and party? You're going to party your way that fast? Are you going to drop money on alcohol and stuff? Or are you going to take it and spend it to go see a friend of yours who you haven't seen since childhood, who made an impact on your life, and you want to go and see them before you pass away? You're probably going to go and do that one. You guys have to look at your life as if your time is your currency. What are you spending your life on? You will not fail if you are trying. There is no failure when you try. What I mean by that, failure is only when you don't try. If you're trying, it's an attempt. You are attempting. How many people did you have to talk to before you found your girlfriend? Or before, how many business ideas did you have to try before you hit the big one? They're attempts. They're not failures. Because you learn something from each one, you apply it to the next interaction, and you go further than you did before. That's how life works. Thomas Edison tried about 10,000 ways, that's the actual number by the way, 10,000 ways to make a light bulb. He made it. And they said to him, how could you keep going when you failed 10,000 times? And Thomas Edison goes, I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. Imagine if we had that mindset. People give up after one try. The average startup business fails 90-something% of the time. It fails. First time. Second time business fails. Third time business fails. It's not easy. You want to nail it the first time? Get yourself some mentors. I'm not going to guarantee that my business will never fail, but I will guarantee that I got a better shot because I see a mentor once a week about business. He's in the same industry as me. He teaches me how to move forward. I find opportunities like Mr. Mike, who knows a lot about entrepreneurship, doing business plans, success management, all that kinds of stuff. I purposely educate myself with YouTube on how to speak, on how to talk to you guys, on how to keep your attention for more than 10 minutes. I don't know if you guys enjoyed today. I hope you did. But if I didn't know how to speak to you guys and I stood up here and I told you, well, Trusted Relations is a computer company and I started it. Do you guys care? Do you guys care? You don't care, right? Why not? It doesn't capture your attention. It's got to be real. You got to be able to feel it. Real quick, never be fearful of what you want. Nobody's going to get it for you. The importance of mentors will basically get you far, far, far ahead in life. Something I want to touch upon is awareness. I don't know why I put it so far down on the list because this is very important. Awareness. I got a question for you. How many people in this room use a computer? That's every single hand in here. I got a question. What does the F5 key do?
Fresh.
Excellent. How about F7? Guys, you use a computer every single day. You don't even know what the keys do. I'm not beating up on you because I don't know what all the keys do and I own a company, right? But my point is that if you're not aware of your environment, now you said F5 refreshes the page, right? You're the one that said that. Okay. That doesn't seem like a big thing when you're on the internet, and F5 does a ton of other things in different environments, but if you're on the internet and you hit F5 to refresh the page, you are faster than the person who took the mouse and had to move over it and click, and if you are a sliver faster than your competition, you've won. First place in running, sprinting, whatever the sport, I forgot what it's called, but first place in that. What is the importance of an inch? What is the importance of when I had you guys raise your hand? What's the importance of a sliver? Ask the guy who got past at the finish line. Because the one who won by 1 inch gets his face on the Wheaties box, gets his face on the magazines, gets the money, gets the publicity. The one who came in second gets a medal. Learn what your environment is. Learn how to come over your competition. Learn how to provide something better, faster, and stronger than your competition, and you will excel. There's no way around that. Put in the extra time now, and you will excel. Extremely important. Be easy on your mistakes. If anybody's made mistakes in this world, it's this guy. Okay? From investing in stupid stuff to spending $20,000 on setting up a car to be a drag racing car when I really should have been taking that money and doubling down on myself when I first started the business, and that's why I ended up in some very, very difficult financial situations, because I dropped 20 grand that could have been used for advertising, could have been used to hire better technicians, could have been used for better equipment. And I put it into a car because I want to blow all my friends away on the road and be untouchable with a 15-pound nitrous bottle, drag radials, Detroit locker, back differential, Tremec transmission, roll cage, racing seats, beefed up engine, pushing 800 horsepower. That's what I wanted. That's what was important to me. You know what that car does? It sits. I don't even use it right now. Because if I go and use that car, I'm not concentrating on my business. Because I get behind the wheel of that car, and I guess you guys got shown some of my other videos. I I got an adrenaline side, yeah. I got an adrenaline side to me. When I get behind the wheel of stuff, I'm two different people, guys. Two different people, two sides. Be easy on your mistakes. If I beat myself up about that, if I run that thing through my mind over and over and over about how much I screwed that up, I'm just going to feel like a failure constantly. You run that stuff through your head, your body's going to feel the same reaction over and over. You ever done something, a big mistake, and then you run it through yourself, and you get that pit in your stomach, you just want to throw up, but you can't. You want to get away from the pain, but you can't. You keep running through your head, you're doing it to yourself. Be easy on your mistakes. You're going to make them. You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to screw things up. You're going to botch opportunities. But if you're a winner and you're a warrior, you're going to stand up, you're going to dust yourself off, and you're going to come back with added knowledge from going through that situation, and you're going to nail it the next time. And if you don't, you nail it the next time. And if you don't, you nail it the next time. Because there is no failure. You attempt until you nail it. Second to last thing is balance. You got to balance yourselves. All work and no play does make you a dull boy. All right? I try to stunt once a week, take my quad out to the parking lot, do whatever. I try to get together with friends of mine a few times a week. I try to invite people to my business even while I'm working. I'll go out for a quick coffee with them. I like to keep in contact with people. I like to keep people around me. Balance your lives out. But don't go buck wild, because it's going to cut into trying to make yourself successful, and I promise you that, because I've had that take place as well. Guys, the last thing I'm going to tell you is extremely important, and you need to listen. You guys can fail at what you don't want to do. There are people who spend their lives banging their heads against the wall at jobs they hate, buying crap they don't need, and they can fail at that life. So if there's a chance of failure, fail doing something you want to do. And remember, it's an attempt. If you could fail at doing what you don't want to do something you want to do. Don't fall in line. Don't sit there and follow the masses, because you're going to get what the masses got. I told you in the beginning, if it's big, you'll see it. If it's loud, you'll hear it. But if it's real, you'll feel it. And I hope you guys felt what I said today. And I'm going to leave you with this. A man who desires something yet does not act upon it will go through his life desiring that which he is the only one standing in his way of achieving. You are the ones you've been waiting for. You've got one life, one shot. You want something, go out and get it. Thank you.
You guys have any questions for Josh?
Yeah, I got 7 or 8 minutes. That many, huh? Wow. Nothing? Yeah.
When did you start Trusted Relations?
Trusted relations is an interesting thing. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I used to take rocks and I used to cover them in glue and put sand on them, put seashells and like little dolphins and stuff, make little sand sculptures, right? And then I would take these and I would sell them, 6 years old. And I would make like $100. Not with one person, because I wasn't, marketing the best yet. I didn't know marketing. When I was 9 years old, I was infatuated with bugs, and I put a sign up on my family's front lawn about Josh the Bug Catcher. I'll catch bugs, $1 a bug. There were no takers, but it said $1 a bug, $2 if the bug is hard to catch. Right? Little did I know that infestations are kind of a lot of bugs. But I could have made a lot of money if someone hired me to do that, right? When I was 17 years old, I sold cigarettes out of my car. I don't condone everything that I did in my past, okay, guys? I've left out some stuff to make it school appropriate for you. When I was 17 years old, I used to work at Walgreens, and I would get cigarettes from there. And I eventually lined, some people are going to watch this video who bought from me. I lined my trunk with different types of cigarettes. And it eventually grew to the point where I was taking special orders. And I would do these orders. I would make $80, $90, $200 a day, 17 years old. Then I would go and work at Walgreens and be like, it's so worthless working here. I'm making $7.85 an hour. Trusted relations came from when I broke my Xbox 360. I broke it, and then I completely ruined it trying to fix it. Don't let me kid you. But the thing is as I worked on it, my buddies brought me theirs and whatnot, and I started to develop an actual skill working on it. And to this day, I've never found anybody who can work on an Xbox 360 like I can. I've had people travel from New York, Long Island to me, make an appointment in Seymour, Connecticut, to drive out to me because they heard about me that I was capable of fixing it because they had a specific type of J-tagged Xbox. They didn't trust it with anybody else. J-tagged is basically spliced and can do a ton of different things that you shouldn't be able to. Emulators, all this kind of stuff. Well, I started making business cards. And I made business cards, 17 years old. I passed them out to everybody I knew. And friends, family, and all that. I started getting Xboxes. Eventually, I became an imaging systems analyst for OC North America, which was my first corporate job, where every time I put on a tie, I thought it was a noose, right? And I learned selling skills, I learned some social skills, I learned some whatever, but I still fixed Xboxes. So that grew in the background. So I would make my money at the business, at the corporate job, which I made stupid money that I then threw all away in the stock market. I was 20 years old. I was making about $86,000 a year, something like that. 20 years old, living with my parents, no expenses, bought anything I want, did anything I wanted, period. Could do whatever I wanted. And I blew all that money in the stock market. Gone. Be smart. Anyways, I ended up leaving that job because I couldn't stand that it was cutthroat America. It was everybody for themselves. It wasn't good. It wasn't nice. Not a very nice place. This person sleeping with the boss. Therefore, they're getting the best deals. You've got backstabbing. You had to lock your desk because people would go in and steal your folder of a business you were working on, get the deal, and unless you could prove otherwise, they just made $4,000 in commission, and you got nothing for all your hard work. So I want to build a company that ends up getting large, where real values are held, where there's integrity, morals, respect, and people want to come and work. All my guys come in, we have a good time. We have Christmas parties. One of my guys, his car broke down. I bought him a water pump for the car. I don't ask for anything back. Thank you very much for helping me to build my dream. Here you go. Take the day off, go get it fixed. I paid to have it fixed. Who doesn't want to work in an environment like that? I want to work in an environment like that. I want to walk in and have my guys like me, not fear me. Trusted relations came from doing that, and then eventually I ended up in college, and I went to go learn things that I actually wanted to learn. And I had tried to sell on eBay because I had sold something on eBay, and I made some money off it, so they went around my house and sold everything I owned. If it wasn't nailed down, it was eBay. And then I was like, I need a product. I need something I can sell. So I found wholesale distributors, and I got hosed. I sent $785 off to China in a Western Union thing, and the guy took my money and never gave me the product and stuff. Anyways, I was in college, and I was going to the bathroom. I was peeing. And I talked to everybody. I don't care if I'm peeing. I don't talk to you. So, this kid walks in. We'll call this kid John as well. Kid walks in, John. I turn over and say, hey, how you doing? And he goes, I'm good. How are you? I said, swear to God. I said, peeing. I said, I need a product. What can you do? Kid said, I build computers. And I said, still peeing. I said, can you teach me how to build computers? He goes, sure. hired him on the spot to build computers with the money I had saved up from other endeavors I had done. He taught me to build computers, and I started building custom gaming computers, putting them on eBay. And eventually what happened is as the market crashed and all that kinds of stuff, or as economics got difficult, people stopped buying that kind of stuff, and I had to close the eBay business. And then I went back into working all these different jobs and stuff. I ended up at T-Mobile. I've had 33 jobs in my life. Okay, been around. And what ended up happening is I was never happy doing anything. I'll never forget, I started crying in Walgreens when I was 17 years old. I started crying in the aisle. Yeah, I know, I got 2 minutes. I started crying in the aisle, standing there, because I knew I was better than them. I was like, what am I doing? 17 years old, I'm standing there, thinking, let me hear. Anyways, I got an email on Easter, of all days, from a lady, Belladonna Mortis, and I used to pretend to be multiple people on the eBay thing, so when people would call me up, they had a technical question. I wasn't technical at the time, I had no idea, so I said, oh, no problem, let me get Mike. Mike was my technical guy. I'd put them on hold, Mike, me, would get on Google, look up their answer, get on the phone. Mike had a nasty personality, nobody wanted to talk to him, because he was so much smarter than everybody else, and I would portray that to the person so they didn't want to ask me any more questions, because I didn't know what the heck I'm talking about. And I would get on the phone, pretend to be Mike, give them their answer, and be like, yeah, can I go now? They would still buy from me. Anyways, on Easter, I got an email from Belladonna Mortis, and she thanked me for building her such a good gaming computer, thanked my company, thanked whatever. My company didn't exist. I didn't have a company. I was a 19-year-old kid when I built her computer in my parents' house. I don't know, maybe this goes here. And she kicked that into high gear, and I ended up getting back into building computers. I ended up living in Seymour at a condo complex, and there was a garage. I put in a carpet, I put in shelves, I put in a desk area. I started to build business out of that. People followed me from my parents' house because I had treated them so good. I had customers from there, I built customers from there. I went around putting up flyers and everything, doing grassroots kind of marketing and stuff. Eventually I ran into the guy who owned the computer clinic, the old one. Him and I became handshake partners. I rented from him. He wasn't the best businessman and his business was going down. I told him I will float you. If you put the money towards buying your business, I will float you so that you and your family can stay alive and all that kind of stuff. I floated him, and what ended up taking place is I eventually bought the building. That's how Trusted Relations started. Listen guys, I really appreciate you having me here. I made some things for you. If you have any interest, you can look up I basically put my notes on what I said to you guys, as well as a card. If you liked what I said, I got a YouTube channel. It's at the bottom. You can look me up.
Film about relating what the industry was, and they all, yeah, it was the reality, it was the real world, and there was only one school, and I will never forget it.